Hey y'all, so I'm just going to preface a little bit about the clips I'm going to show you. So I arrived in San Pedro de Atacama, the town that's kind of the gateway to the desert. I kind of explored the town. It's like this little dusty town. Um, Lots of restaurants and stuff. Lots of cool people that make like necklaces on the side of the road. And I don't know, it's pretty interesting. But yeah. The town of San Pedro de Atacama. A little hostel. This is the hangout area. There's a little market going on. Pisco sour. I've had them in Peru before. This is my first one in Chile. This is one of my favorite foods, ceviche. This one's made with raw salmon, but it's marinated in a citric juice like lime, so it essentially cooks it, and it's just so good and fresh. Hey y'all, so I'm currently in Deserto de Atacama, the Atacama Desert, which is the driest desert in the world. And last night I completed my bucket list activity of stargazing. A lot of NASA and scientists come here because of the conditions. There's so little humidity that they put their big telescopes here, and we could see constellations such as Scorpio and the Southern Cross, and one of the biggest stars. It's called, I think we call it like Betelgeuse back home. And we got to look through the like high-powered telescopes and see like closed star networks, open star networks, and learned about black holes and how stars are formed and how they die. And just so much information, like it's just, I had to file it all into my head. But I'm about to go to a laguna that you can float on in the desert because of the salt concentration, and sometimes you could see flamingos, which I didn't even realize flamingos lived in the desert. So I'm really pumped up, I'm really excited, and like I said, I couldn't film last night because it was so dark and we wanted to reduce like the light pollution. They did take a picture. I kind of look like a witch in my poncho because it's so cold right now. It's their winter time here in Chile. I'm here in August. Perfect because I don't really like the crowds. But let's go see what we can find out. So like a black hole, I've always heard that things get sucked into it. Well, that's a misconception. Nothing can get sucked into a black hole. Things fall into black holes, and we obviously still don't know what happens when you're in a black hole. But the big star I was telling you about, that is going to end up being a black hole one day. Some of the star networks we saw last night, the star clusters, I guess is what they're called. We saw the two open clusters of what they call the jewel box and of the one that looks like the butterfly. And they explained why stars look a certain color. So the blue stars mean they're young stars. The helium hasn't burned out of that star yet. It's still got a long ways to go because not the helium, the hydrogen. Because once the hydrogen burns out of a star, it's when the star dies or turns into a supernova or, goes into the next phase. So the red stars are the oldest stars. And so the alpha star that I was telling you about, it is very close to its death. Our sun is in its halfway span of life, the yellow color. So we won't be here when it dies, thank God. So that was really interesting to learn how they told us that shooting stars aren't actually stars, they're meteorites. You all might have known this. I didn't. This was like all information I was like digesting. So the meteorites are like just a few centimeters long, and when they hit our atmosphere they kind of die unless they're super huge, which is what happens when you go to places like, I think it was in Arizona, there's this big crater hole and stuff. So you don't want that to happen because it can destroy villages and stuff, obviously. So we got to watch out for those. So that was some information we learned. This day is the day when I got to go to the laguna and float in the waters because there's such a high salt concentration in it. And I saw a little pink flamingo fly overhead. It was really nice. The views were gorgeous. The beautiful Atacama Desert.
Es muy importante cuando ellos estudian estas bacterias para poder comprender cómo la vida apareció en el planeta. Lo más importante, cómo consiguió. Ella también está protegida. Ninguém puede mergulhar.
Buenos dias, everyone. So today I'm going to Rainbow Valley and Valle de la Luna, Valley of the Moon. So I'm really excited. We'll see what we get into. Only problem is I'm trying to get some water out of the machine. There's no water, but we'll see how it goes.
Guarda quello là, quello là. Adesso ci prendo da questa parte.
Quelle piantine lì, quelle piantuzze lì secche. Mangeranno quelle.
That direct family from the camels. Okay, it's posing for you guys.
Puoi tirare giù.
Those are really young. Esos son jóvenes. Son juveniles se llaman. Juveniles.
Sono
Baby guanaco.
Guanaco. Estos animales son camélidos. Son familiares directos del.
O domestici.
Ahora soy un experto en italiano. Di precisione.
Sono grandi. Sono alti là.
Di precisione
Ma poi
domesticata.
sono buffi la sera che vanno tutti nel recinto
Buongiorno.
da soli.
Buonasera. Bueno, yo generalmente no recomiendo ningún restaurante italiano acá en Chile.
Anche
We
la
got
volpe.
the two kinds of foxes that we got in this land, okay? We got the cool-tailed fox and the chia fox. They wanted to say, be careful with this one because they are predators, okay? They cannot eat a big camelid because they are really little, okay? If they attack a big camelid, the camelid will step up like this, pow, 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 okay? Smashing the ground, and goodbye fox. But he can eat the little ones because they are like they cannot defend themselves, okay? We got this other animal, which is a monkey, represents the people from the Amazonas. This was an exchange point. A bunch of cultures came to this land to exchange things. The money of the time of this place was the soul, the meat, and the skin of the camelids, okay? To change. Then we got the Andean rabbit, okay? The Vizcacha. And you see that one over there? See, like, and not many flamencos at this season, okay? You can see just few. But it represents also the change of season, okay? It's fertility and represents abundance. You cannot kill the female of the camelids, okay? You know that people here eat llama's meat, right? But you don't need the female's meat because it's sacred, represents fertility and abundance. You only can eat the male's meat because the male represents nothing. Okay? But we will see a bunch of these camelids draw, okay? Chicos, en español, camelids. You will see a bunch of camelids over here, but how can we know if that one Is a vicuña, is a guanaco. We cannot tell, right? Well, we got a way to interpret it. Most of those are guanacos, okay? Because in this area, you got only guanacos. The vicuña lives at a high altitude than this, okay? But anyways, there was an archaeology. People said that a five camelid exists. One more, okay? Because I talk about four, right? The guanacos, the vicuñas, the llama, and the alpaca, right? But we got a fifth one, okay? And that one, they said that is the transition from the guanaco to the llama, okay? So this one, this camelid is called Fiura, and the Fiuricas, and then the Spanish government, okay? So before the Incas came to this land, they didn't use clothes, okay? They only used a thing to here, like something, okay? Made of the guanaco's wool, okay? And also the leather. They use leather clothes. And so at that time they were hunters, okay? So they didn't have too much time to add details to the drawing because they have to go to hunt animals to survive, right? So they make a fast drawing and then, okay? So we can compare this one with that one over there, right? After the Incas came to colonize this land, they started practicing the shepherding. So they settled down. They transformed in, they were more nomads and they were hunters, and they became more sedentaries. So when they became more sedentaries, they had more time to add details to the drawing. So you can see the neck, you can see the ears, the face, the front legs, the stomach, this part, the legs, okay, and the tail. So as you can see, it got two ears like this. The indigenous wanted to draw this one looking, not just looking to that way, also looking to that area. So that's why they got the two ears. They mapped the place. These are the canyons, and these are the places where they place close to the canyons. You got the water that goes down, and you got that one pointing the direction, okay, of the place. It is because on that area you got the beginning of the canyon. It's in the domestication of the dog, okay? For a long time they said that dogs were inducted here by the Spanish government, but that is a lie, okay? Because we also got the evolution from North America of the coyote and the wolf that extend to South America. Most of the animals that we share in South America and in Africa extends from North America, okay? That's why we also got an ostrich here. It's called Suri. And the ostrich is like this. He runs like 70 kilometers per hour. You got little foxes over here. All the evolution from the animals of the group, and it's the man that has all the knowledge about the medicinal herbs from this land. They make ceremonies, especially with psychedelics. You know that in North America, close to Texas, between Texas and Mexico, you got a cactus that is called the peyote, right? It's really curious because in South America, we also got a cactus that has the same composition, and it's called the guachuma. The guachuma is a long cactus like this, has a bunch of meat on the inside. The needles are really little, but it's like this. And it gives a flower, really beautiful. But that one also has mescaline, which is the chemical composition that activates the psychedelic experience, right? I know I am not a drug addict, okay? It's just history, okay? So the thing is that, well, they also use the same cactus here to make these ceremonies, okay? And then when the Spanish government came to colonize this land, they give another name to that cactus. They give the name of Saint Peter, San Pedro. It doesn't have relation with the name of the town, okay? It is because when the Spanish government, the generals, had this experience with the shaman over here, yeah, they felt like the doors of heaven were open for them, and Saint Peter received them in a dome that represents the wool. Okay, so you got a place here that is fire. They burn the rocks and they start placing the rocks inside of the dome. And then they drop water, so a bunch of steam is going inside. They give you the tea, they are singing prayers and all the stuff, and it's really beautiful because it's like you're born again, because you are inside of the wool, in total darkness, you can see nothing. You cannot see the people, the person that is close to you, okay? Because it's total darkness. You only see the lights of the rocks that are really hot, okay? So they put the rocks inside of it, and the rocks are the grandmothers, okay? This represents the wool, and you are in total connection with the earth, with the mother. So the fire represents the men, okay? So you are inside of the of the place, and from the dark you go to the lights again once the ceremony ends up. So it's like born again. Okay. Last year they make a research of this one, a biological research, and they reveal that this is a mother plant. That means that he gives life to other medicinal plants, especially the rica rica, which is over there. Okay. We will touch the rica rica down there. Okay. I will take one. Okay. This is the araimpo. Okay. This is the fruit. So the skin is really thin. Okay. But it's like round like this. Okay. Este el airampo. So as you can see, it got some needles over there, right? So the guanaco eat this fruit like that. Sometimes you can see the guanaco close to this plant eating the fruits, but they eat it with the needles. How can they do that? Remember, they are camelids, and the camelids develop an acid in their saliva that put all the needles tender so they can eat it. Have you seen the camels eating? Sometimes, no? In it, you need to be smacked by a lightning. If you survive, you became a yatiri, okay? So we got this one, okay? This is the most popular one. It's called the two-head llamas. La llama de dos cabezas. This one has different interpretations. Este tiene diferentes interpretaciones, ¿ok? Bueno, se interpretaba como una anomalía también, como un monstruo, como like a monster, okay, like an anomaly, a two-head llama, okay?
Un lama que partorisce.
Aquí puede ver. So, but the real thing is that this one represents the giving birth of the llama. It's a llama giving birth. You can see the head of the mother looking to the sky showing the baby, and the new llama born over there. The zigzag in the middle represents the genetic transmission from that generation to this generation, especially the female. Why? Remember? Let's talk about that. Es sacra. Es sagrada. It's sacred. Okay? Also represents the Milky Way. Yeah, the cosmovision of the indigenous from this land. Okay, when they saw the Milky Way, they saw a llama over there. Okay? Here, because we don't got the jungle here. We don't got bananas in this area. So this one represents the people that came from the Amazonas to this land to exchange things. So you can see the face over there, the body, the front arms, front legs, the tail, and you can see a line that is going out of the body. It's because with a rope they were walking with their monkeys like this. At that time they started domesticating monkeys in the Amazonas. Okay, so this one represents the people from that land. Es una cachoeira.
Una cascata.
Una cascata. Some crystallization also. You have to be
Rainbow Valley.
My first mountain here was the last volcano, and that day we got
It's amazing, isn't it?
has the contact with the oxygen of the outside, and also the water makes a chemical reaction that changes the color of most of these minerals. Okay, some of them got rust, like the clay over there. You can see the redstone color, and that green on the other side. Those are plutonical rocks. It's plutonium. Plutonium. It's not radioactive. You need something else to make you radioactive. Okay, but we got a bunch of botanical rocks here. Let's go inside the valley, okay? Let's go to explore. All the universe. The picture of the very front. So didn't suffer too much. Plan so that way the animals cross over the smoke and kill the parasites, you know, because when they want to commercialize the wool of the llama, it doesn't have to have parasites on the inside because it's not sellable. But then they discovered that this one has medicinal things like it's good for headaches and also for nauseous.
Like rica.
For the altitude,
Similar.
yeah.
It's nature.
If it's like hurts you, well, if you feel like a rock or a plant that starts talking to you, don't be scared, okay? It's part of the effect. Okay, so this plant is really good for women. The indigenous women from this land use it because this is a diuretic plant for excellence. With this one you can meet liters, years, and thousands of years of pee. Okay? It's really good for women. They use it also. I don't know that, okay? You know all that. But they say that when you are menstruating, you also have some pains over there. So this help you with the pain of menstruation, yeah. The indigenous give that medicinal things from this one, okay? It's called pico de gallo. It's a medicinal one. Esta es una planta medicinal, se llama pico de gallo. Yes, diuretic. The top one of the medicinal plants, you can use this one for drinks also, to mix it up with alcohol, okay? But this one is called rica rica. This is the one that you smell the other. Okay, you want to smell again?
Rica Rica.
This is the rica rica.
Quella che forse mettevano nel tè.
Throw
It's
it
good.
and smell it. Frota y geragite.
Rica Rica.
Is a stomach. It's good for a stomach. Really good for a stomach, okay? Also helps on the altitude. It's more friendly than coca leaf. It's more friendly than coca leaf because coca leaf makes your heart rate go a little bit faster. Do you know what coca leaf makes to your organism when you're biting coca leaf? Exactly. It is because dilatates your veins, right? So you can oxygen better, okay? That's why they bite and they chew coca leaves. The Bolivian are all the day. You can see the women selling vegetables on the ferias, and they are all the day chewing with all the teeth with green color, and they have a bunch of like jewelry in their teeth, gold, silver, and they are. This one they mix it up also with pisco sour. Yeah, you can get the pisco sour rica rica.
Yeah.
Really refreshing, really good.
That was one of
Yeah,
those.
most of the restaurants in San Pedro they sell pisco sour with rica rica. So when you are drinking that thing, it's not alcohol that you are drinking; it's a medicine.
Here, the salt miners worked with dynamite, explosives. This mine, we can see the differences here, for example, and over there. That formation is wind erosion, but here it's for explosives. The salt miners made some holes like of this size and extracted the salt blocks. So today it's not possible to see the salt blocks, but we can hear how the salt blocks break inside the mine. Gente, aqui for the Selenita, it's the name here, the Moon Valley. The Moon Valley, the the name, it's for the moon Greek goddess Selene. The same name, then this stone, this rock, Selenita. If you can see this place shining with the light moon, it's like a big moon. Mary, in the middle another, and over there the number 3, the first, la primera María, gente. Vamos a imaginar assim, ela está baixada aí, deu. Mas essa é a terceira Maria. A gente aqui imagina muita coisa também, por aí na cabeça. It's very windy usually, and the wind moves the sand of the dunes until here, for example, and start to begin that formations like Svalbard dunes over there. With the vaporita, there is like a more strongest over there. Gente, a gente lá da comunidade falou que eles iam avisar se es que encontravam hoje, mas ninguém ha falado para ninguém.
Made it to the top.
And it is creating oxygen, so there are many kind of it. Many of it can resist the very salty water. For example, here these cyanobacteria can resist the high temperatures that has the water, for example. And it can también vamos a sentir, no sé si colocaste las manos, vamos a sentir que hay más temperatura. It's different because it depends of the size of the crater. So if it's gonna be bigger, like over there, it's gonna have more pressure and the water go outside with more energy. Water like over there. Other stuff here, we can see that the minerals that it's coming out, it's creating the sedimentation, it's making conic shapes, and sometimes these minerals could be hide the craters, and the guys are gonna be aquí, amigos, vamos a ver que las gotas de agua que salen van generando estas rocas pequeñas y el agua que for the same reason communities from this area, they decided to create the park, and now we have parking rangers.
Luego me lo pasas todo y te lo paso todo.
Son perdices, son aves que no pueden volar, son aves que para poder protegerse de sus depredadores aprovechan sus colores que los usan como camuflaje. So we can see that the colors, it's very similar.
Então, esses aí, por causa do trabalho que eles fazem.
Podemos observar
Então, tem uma mineradora.
que tengamos una fila muy grande en los anticuchos. Vamos a aprovechar que ahora no tiene
Yeah.
It's more, you know, it's
Oh
more
yeah, more.
like that because
Now it's a cactus. So nice in